World Champions of Baseball.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Now entering the game for Philly Pressbox Radio, Bill Furman and Jim Chet Chesko.
It's Wednesday, November 26, 2025. Happy Thanksgiving Eve and welcome to the Philly Pressbox Radio Roundtable. Brought to you by the Irish Rover Station House in Langhorne, PA, Cavs, Philly Tailgates, and the STT Sports Network. I'm Bill Furman. I'll be your host tonight along with my partner, Jim Chet Chesko. Chet, the Eagles let one get away, blowing a 21-point lead with 14 penalties and 2 turnovers. It's a short week with the Bears in town Friday afternoon. The Flyers lost their first game of a 4-game road trip in Tampa. It's the defending Stanley Cup champion Panthers tonight. The Sixers are now 9-8 after last night's blowout loss to the Magic. College football comes down to the last weekend for most teams. Penn State needs a win against Rutgers to become bowl eligible, while Temple needs a win on the road against 10-1 North Texas. The Owls are 20.5-point underdogs in that one, Chet. We have plenty to talk about in Philly sports.
And Bill, again this week, you failed to mention our pick'em competition where I'm soaring like an eagle all of a sudden, and you're limping into the Thanksgiving holiday weekend like a wounded turkey.
Well, you know, I figured we would talk about that a little bit later since you have already crowned yourself the victor, the champion after 12 weeks. That's bad juju, my friend. You're in big trouble.
I hope I don't collapse like the 23 Eagles.
Well, there you go. Or play defense like the Philadelphia 76ers. Let's go with that.
Ugly. That was ugly.
Yeah. Hey, we have a great guest returning tonight in our friend Al Zaffiri to talk all things Philly sports.
Yeah, we do. Just like old times when we would do this occasionally with Al. Our guy, Big Al, currently the co-host on Sunday mornings, the Philly AM Sports Show with Mike Lauro. Back on our show to help us figure out what the hell's going on with the Eagles, the Phillies, and, the Sixers.
Yeah, well, there's plenty to talk about, that's for sure. So let's get to it and welcome Big Al Zaffiri back to Philly Pressbox Radio. Al, welcome back, my friend.
What's going on, fellas? It's always good to talk with you guys. Like I said earlier, it's like old times back together, the band.
That's
absolutely,
right.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's get to it, Al. We will talk lots of Eagles, but the last time we saw you, and I think I have a picture, it was about 5.5 months ago, and it was Delco Day number 10. And,
right.
Here it is right there. That was a good time. We had a fantastic time, in fact, at Dolan's Bar. I think I've been to 3 or 4 of those wonderful Delco Day events, and this one, I don't know, maybe was the best one ever. You're one of the organizers, so you tell us, how did we do at Delco Day 10?
Well, as you said, it is the best one ever. And that picture was just post getting poured on for about 30 minutes straight, if you remember that correctly. We had to scurry around to cover the speakers in plastic, trash bags and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it was like 30 minutes. I said I owned it. I just stayed out and that was actually my 3rd shirt of the day already. And just said, I'm owning this and just deal with it. But, $30,000 later,
nice.
Because of great people like yourselves and all the great Delconians out there and people supporting us. Even the great Jason Kelsey was able to at least give us a little time on the intrawebs to throw us a little love. So that was awesome of them.
So are we lined up for somewhere around 6/10 of 2026? How's that looking?
So we have a rule. Me and Holbrook have a rule because Delco Day is so labor and emotionally intensive. We don't talk Delco Day until at least January 31st. That's kind of our rule. So there is nothing to be said. I even got emails from Headstrong. I got emails from other people who sponsored and just people messaging me in general. What's the date? Where's it at? Da-da-da. And I said, this is what we call building anticipation. So to be honest with you, you could lock me up to a lie detector test and I wouldn't tell you anything different because we have no clue. And that's just how it always has. But what's more Delco than just doing something by the seat of your pants?
Right.
Well, we'll bug you again around February 1st for all the details on that.
Absolutely.
Let's get to the Eagles. You remember the 2023 season when they started 10-1, followed by losing 6 of the next 7 games. Are you worried at all right now that this season may crumble like that one did?
Come on, Chet.
The answer to that's no.
Okay.
Can anything happen? Sure, but it's a little bit of a different situation. And the biggest difference in this situation is, even though the second half of the game maybe didn't dictate it this way, is we had a really good offense in 2023, despite people's complaints with our offensive coordinator at the time. We just had no defense, and you can get away with that a little bit more, I think, with more defense, a little less offense. And don't forget, we do have an offense, even at its weakest point, is better than most. So I'm not worried about a 2023 type of collapse. But you can't say, if you say you're not worried at all, you're trying to fool yourself. But I'm also not hitting the panic button. My hand's not even close to the panic button.
Well, I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried at all, actually. So maybe I'm kidding myself. But Mr. Philadelphia Sports Radio up there that has to bring up 2023, why don't you bring up the Super Bowl championship team? We could talk about that too. But
that was 8 months ago, Bill. This is a different season.
Well, the other one was 18 months ago. So, but I think if you take the Dallas game as itself, there's a whole lot of things you could pick apart. You're not going to get 14 penalties a game.
Yeah.
All their big plays on offense, and they had a bunch of them, were all called back. Some of them a little maybe iffy. I'm still kind of shaking my head about the center turning his head and getting the penalty. That one was a little iffy. But either way, their big plays on offense, and they did have some, made it look really bad because it put them behind the chains so many times. You're not going to see that every week.
Yeah, listen, you can make the excuses there. There's the offense came out gangbusters, as we all saw it, and I'll be honest with you, I was one of those people going, okay, it's going to be one of those kind of games today. I can sign up for this one. 21 points already. We're not even halfway through the game. I'm good. Let's roll with this. But then it was ice cold, and yes, penalties hurt us, but honestly, I really think, and it was always the strongest point in the last decade, but now is kind of coming up weak, and mainly a lot of it's because of injuries, is the offensive line, and I think it's stymieing the offense. The offense, listen, I'm sure we're going to mention A.J. Brown a little bit. A little of his diva comes out with the situation, but when you can't get a game plan running, and the running is the key factor here. I mean, A.J. Brown had he was tops, or A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley was tops in the league last year with being the more yards between him and the first contact, and that's a huge stat to have for a running back. And he's getting hit in the backfield now. I don't care. Yep. Saquon Barkley looked like a god last year, but it only takes this type of situation, a bad offensive line, or offensive line just being riddled with injury and not working well, to make a guy look human again.
Well, I know Bill has a lot of thoughts about the offensive line, that whole situation. Before we talk about the O-line and Saquon, let me first play a piece of audio for you. In a visit to WIP the other morning, the great Ray Didinger talked about the offensive struggles, especially regarding the running game, noting that the Birds are anywhere from 21st to 29th in the league in rushing yards, total yards, and average first down yardage. Here's Ray.
All roads kind of lead back to the offensive line to me. I mean, this is a team that is built and designed to run the football. Last year, they were able to do it, and they won a Super Bowl because the offensive line was the best in football and totally controlled the game. And this year, the offensive line has not been good. And you can point to all different things, and clearly it's injuries. And I heard the one caller say they've been hurt from the beginning. That's true. I mean, yeah, and that's not their fault, but that's just the reality of it. But they're continuing to run the same basic style of offense because they feel like that's the foundation of what they do, and they just can't do it with this offensive line.
Al, your thoughts?
I can't agree with. Listen, who am I to disagree with Ray? But no, I mean, I'm an O lineman, and we always Bill Chet. We talked about this 1,000 times. Everything's won in the trenches, right? And it goes to show you that the team got turned around when they started adding extra linemen. They did it. Detroit started doing it, would cut the offense at bay. Dallas didn't do it right away, but kind of changed their gear and started adding extra D linemen, blitzing the linebacker, putting more and more pressure. You saw guys just run untouched to Jalen, and you can't do that. And look at teams like the Cincinnati Bengals, right? You got some major offensive weapons, injury prone quarterback right now, but even when he was healthy, it's really hard to get something going if you have no protection for your quarterback. You have no gaps being open for your running backs and no time to throw the ball. So that goes to show we know what the secret sauce is. Unfortunately, our sauce is a little tainted with injuries. I think some mental mistakes too. I think they're kind of getting in their own head. So that's why I don't feel they're unfixable, but you're going to need like a Vitae type guy to step up who wasn't expected to play all season long and step up like in Lane Johnson. Like, is Fred Johnson going to be that guy? Is Pryor going to be that guy? We don't know, but somebody has to be that guy. And, I've said it, Howie do no wrong, everybody says, but this offseason wasn't great. And the loss of Mekhi Becton is real. And for what he got paid too on top, I think it was $5 million a year for 2 years. It wasn't like anything outrageous. Looks kind of really sour grapes for Howie at this point. And he's trying to, piece things together.
Well, and I tell you, Tyler Steen's taking some heat this week too. And I just can't see enough of the film to see how much Steen is struggling. You got Steen and Fred Johnson over there together. So that's a problem. The tight ends, they don't really use in tight end situations. So when they get in blitzing situations, you have Saquon Barkley trying to block. That's not what you want either. Although he's adequate, you don't want him blocking linebackers. Get the heck away from them. So yeah. I think with the situation as it is, you do have to adjust the offense, and you also have to open the game up a little more for Jalen to be able to run the ball. They're spying him, which should leave some gaps for them to be able to throw the ball, but it isn't working out that well, especially to number 88, who Dallas Goedert's always been a safety blanket.
And here's the thing is they've tried, and let's think about it a few times. Think about a little bit of good offense you saw against Detroit the week before that, and even this week they had to get away from it. And Dallas, give them credit, they got some good defensive players back, and they adjusted a game plan at the right time. They were running a jumbo package with Fred Johnson when Lane was still healthy, and they were getting the ball moving a little bit more. They had to get away from that because, I'm sorry, Matt Pryor stinks. They brought him back because he was cheap and he knew the system, and I guess Stoutland thought he could do something. And I know people are giving Jeff Stoutland a lot of – I mean, after all these years, even when we were bad, we had a good O-line for the most part. So I'm not giving Jeff Stoutland any hard times. He also – the clay he works with. Like I said, you got Lane – like I said this was kind of like my hot take before the season even started. I said, this is probably – if they win this year, I think it's definitely – but now the injuries might push it. I think this was Lane Johnson's last year, even though he said I got a couple more good years. But I said coming into the season, if they win back-to-back Super Bowls, that'll be number 3 for Lane. And I think the injuries are just piling up, and you have to start to say, enough's enough.
2 more years left on his deal.
Yep.
I'm wondering the same thing, though, about Lane, given all he's gone through this year. Speaking of injuries, Devontae Smith did not practice today. He's got a chest and shoulder thing, and he's a little under the weather. I still think he's going to be okay to play. And one other thing before we take a break, as I put up the standings, we see the Eagles are no longer the top seed. They are now the 2nd seed. And look who's 3rd, the team they're playing on Friday. A couple of 8-3 teams going at it at the Link. So I know, Al, it is not literally a must win, but is Friday's game kind of a must-win for the Eagles to right the ship?
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, listen, the one thing is you have to do is you have to win. We always say all that matters is the W in the end, right? Well, the W's against the winning teams are what matters the most in my eyes. Like, because no matter what you want to say about the Eagles, it hasn't been pretty, it hasn't been flashy, but they're winning against good teams. So you have to, if the team's right behind you or right in front of you or right on top of you in any which way, got to assert your dominance. And this is where you.
That's right. Hey, Chet, now, did you know the Philly Pressbox Radio is part of the STT Sports Network?
I know.
As in Set the Trends. It's a network set up by our pal Phil Stiefel, host of the terrific Trending in the AM show that you can find every weekday morning on the STT Sports Network YouTube channel. Check out Phil. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Phil's show is on there, and so is ours. Yes, you can find Philly Pressbox Radio there, in addition to our own YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. Again, it's the STT Sports Network setting the trends for what sports talk should be.
Yeah.
Hey, Chet, it's the holidays. What's going on at the Irish Rover Station now?
I love the Irish Rover, Bill. Al's been there with us a couple of times. Terrific food, always 24 beers on tap. The Rover will be closed for Thanksgiving, but coming up, they've got this cool thing is a holiday sip and shop event. They do this every year. That's the evening when they open up their banquet room to a bunch of great local vendors for some holiday shopping, while you also enjoy some of their festive holiday cocktails. Sip and shop, they call it. That is coming up on Tuesday, the 2nd. Finally, the annual Ugly Sweater holiday party will happen this year, Thursday, December 18th at the Irish Rover. I have a couple of options ready to go, and I will definitely be there. You know that's the case. The Irish Rover Station House is on Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne and on the web at irishroverstationhouse.com. And Bill, check this out.
I like beer because it is good. I drink beer because I should.
Hey, I'm Lou Bryson. I know a lot about whiskey and beer. I don't know a whole lot about Philadelphia sports. I leave that to Bill and Chet on Philly Pressbox Radio. Cheers.
Hey, very good, very good. Hey, I want to pick back up where we left off, talking about the running game and the Bears. It looks like, we'll see how this plays out here the next day or so, but it looks like all three Bears linebackers are out.
Really?
The last two games, the Bears have given up somewhere in the 160 to 180 yards rushing in those last two games. This is the week where we right the running back ship, as you like to say, Chet.
Well, yeah, and you know why else? Because it's supposed to be a little chilly and very windy Friday afternoon. Yeah. So, that will also require, I would think, a lot more running than throwing the ball. So, in addition to Saquon Barkley, how about getting Tank Bigsby involved a little more? He's only carried the ball 18 times in his 10 games, but he's averaging 9.1 yards a carry. Give him more than 1 or 2 carries a game. Come on, man.
What say you, Al?
I agree with you. I kind of even a three-headed monster idea right now. Shipley, and listen, design runs. I said this last week, and they started to do it, and they got away from it. Design run plays for Jalen. Don't put him in harm's way as much, but you have to respect Jalen. The minute they took him out of the respect factor from the defense, and if you're going to have 3 of your linebackers down, who's going to spy him? You're going to have your 4th and 5th string linebacker spying him, some guy off the practice squad. That could play really well in the favor of the Eagles. And as you said, it's going to be cold and windy that day. And it's actually my anniversary, my 11th anniversry with my wife. I was supposed to go to the Eagles game, but I got to do the husband thing. But like you said, I asked her, I said, you want to come with me? And she said, it's going to be windy and 42 degrees high. No, thank you. Listen, this is a good chance for you to test the water out a little bit, because you have to run it a little bit, and they're going to be ready for you. And the O-line's going to have to really step up, because no matter what, like Tank Bigsby, the 9 yards a carry, when you're only carrying the ball 18 times, it's easy to have high per yardage. If we doubled or triple that, does that drop to 6 or 4 or 5? But I'll still take 4 every time. Sure. Hey, Bill, we've coached many years, right? What's it? 3 yards in a cloud of dust was the old
That's right.
thing. And
That's right.
That. So that's what you need to do. You need to have that push forward. And I think from a mental standpoint, it's definitely a little bit between the ears with this team. The offense stifling a little bit, the running game not getting going. And listen, it was probably kicking the ego a little bit for the defense from 21-0 to losing 24-21 in the end. I mean, the Dallas at one point was just trying to give that game away.
Yeah.
And you gave them a little hope, a little, they're still looking in, but 5-5-1. But you don't want to give them any power. And listen, you lost 3 games, 2 to your divisional rivals. So now you're done with them, except for Washington. But you really have to kind of beat the brakes off of them, because you really can't afford another divisional loss on top of another loss, as tight as the NFC is compared to the AFC right now.
Yeah. Well, I want to get to the defense here in a second. George Pickens ran wild, and CeeDee Lamb, if he could catch the ball, ran wild too. But before we go there, I want to throw out, and I think I've got this number right. Since Jalen Hurts has been the quarterback, the Eagles are 40-2 when they've won the turnover battle. A lot of discussion this week about being too conservative on offense, protecting the football, blah, blah, blah. It's not a beauty pageant. If you can win the turnover battle and win the game, that's really what it's about. Fans aren't buying into that right now. They want to see, spaceship pinball numbers.
Yeah. And listen, that's why they're fans, okay? And that's why we're fans to a point. But what we've done, you guys have done for many years. I'm probably doing sports coverage and covering in locker room coverage for about 10 years now, I think. No, 12 years. I mean, I'm married 11, so it'd be 12. There's a difference. Like, you can have flashy all you want, but you can win championships this way. And let's be honest, go back to last year, and it's that revisionist history comes into play a little bit. We weren't beating the brakes off anybody until the last 2 games. Okay, we almost lost to the Rams in a snow game. It was that close. You know what I mean? It goes back to 2017 when you had a Julio Jones drop, which he would have caught 9 out of 10 times. I'm in the stands for that game. I'm sitting here still wondering how that happened, because that man is catching the ball 9 out of 10 games. Luck sometimes plays a factor into it, but we were not winning on style points as much last year either. Too, it just didn't happen. But we got to the NFC Championship game and did what we do best there, and then they got to a Super Bowl against the Chiefs. And everybody, listen, I don't care how much of a big Eagles fan, green colored glasses you wear and all that stuff, you're going up against the Chiefs again. You weren't feeling like, oh, we're going to beat the brakes off them like they did, And I always said the Phillies are still stuck in 2023 in Arizona trying to find themselves. I think Patrick Mahomes is still stuck in New Orleans right now trying to find himself.
Hey, Al, a couple of things. First of all, Saquon Barkley, 684 yards rushing this year, well below last year's total, just 3.7 yards per carry. The Bears' primary running back having a better season than Barkley, 649 yards, 4.6 yards per carry. That running back, former Eagle DeAndre Swift. So we will see a lot of him on Sunday. What's your prediction now? What's going to happen on Sunday, or on Friday, not Sunday, Friday?
Yeah, Friday, right? Still getting used to another Friday game. Yeah. 2 years in a row, you got a Friday game.
Friday.
And it really kind of burns me a little bit, because one of my favorite traditions was Flyers hockey on Black Friday, and I know they're still having it, but I used to like to go to the games. Got me out of shopping and everything with the wife. I loved it. I think you're going to see a team kind of come out of their comfort zone. I think they've been saving Jalen a little bit. That's why the design run plays have been lessened. They didn't want us to come out like that right away, preserving him a little bit. But this O-line, if one thing Jeff Stoutland can do, and I think one thing and that's the thing, they might be struggling, but they're not a bad O-line. You have, even with the injuries they have, they still have one of the top tier guys individually. It's just having to come together. You have Fred Johnson now a second week, knowing he's starting. Tyler Steen's kind of got to get his head out of his butt a little bit. But yeah, you said it earlier, the run game's going to have to win it. So again, I know it sounds cliche, but it's the trenches here. So I think the Eagles pull this one out, because it's a little bit of you have to. It's a home game. It's Black Friday. Both teams are kind of reeling from some injuries. And I think listen, there's the game plan that we saw with Dallas is exactly what, if I'm coaching against a team built like the Eagles currently right now, is what I would do. Blow the line, but it's going to be harder for them to do it. So you're going to have to do more bubble screen, not so much bubble screens, but like screen passes, tight end dump passes, things like that. Get the ball out in the middle, which is a little against the grain that we don't usually see from Jalen, and get it out quickly. Okay? Not holding on the ball, not trying to extend plays too much. That's what the game plan is going to call for. Now, will they execute it? Time will tell.
Hey, Chet, you had the injury report up there before you mentioned it. Do you have that today? Did the defensive backs practice today? You know, they had three of them. They had three of them get hurt.
I didn't hear. I know Makuba's out. He's going to be out, but otherwise, I'm not sure.
I have the Wednesday report. Of course, you said Devontae Smith, Xavier Gibson with his shoulder. Makuba did not. He's on IR. So Makuba
okay.
Yes.
Lane Johnson, of course. Saquon was limited today, which is probably typical in this situation. Limited was Reed Blankenship, but they're saying it seems like he is playing towards. He's coming towards playing on Friday. Landon with a knee, Brandon Graham with a groin, and then Miles Hinton was a full participant today, and so was Willie Lampkin.
Okay.
And Britton Covey activated, and he'll be returning punts because, as our buddy Mike says, that fielding a punt inside the 5-yard line and then fumbling, that was inexcusable. So
you don't field it. Let it go.
Yeah, let it go.
Come on,
they're going to either cover it at the 5-yard. Listen,
inside the 10
who wasn't screaming poison at that point was
right.
But like, no, you really don't. You let it. What's going to happen? It's either going to roll into the end zone, you're going to get put out on the 30, or it's going to land where it's at, and you're going to be where you're at anyway, and you're not turning the ball over. I'm still in my room here screaming. I just haven't gotten back to it yet.
Yeah. Well, let's take that though. I don't want to gloss over that because Dak Prescott tore them up.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a little easier to do when you're behind 21-0. We know that. But George Pickens was like he was playing on air out there. He was wide open. We didn't do a good job in the defensive backfield, and we didn't get the pass rush this week that we normally get. That is probably as concerning as what happened on the offensive side.
Well, George Pickens, the meat off the bone, I said at the end of the day, that was what was happening. I think a little bit happened. I think the big thing here is, and Vic Fangio kind of said it without saying it, they were playing not to lose, not playing to win the game. And, kind of what we say, prevent defense, just prevents you from winning the game. And I think you saw that in play for the most part. Like, all right, we're up 21-0. They scored once. Okay, not a big deal. They scored again. Okay, we'll come back. But when your offense 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, now you're putting more pressure. Now perfection, nothing less than perfection will be acceptable because this game is, they missed a field goal attempt. We missed a field goal attempt. This game was almost like a hot potato of, here, you have it. No, you have it. Like, I kind of felt like that at one point. But when it comes to stats, Dallas, no matter how bad they are, they just have a very lopsided team at one point. They had a really good offense, one of the top offenses in the league, but they had a really low defense, but they got some defensive players back, and that was able to stymie the Eagles enough to kind of just start bludgeoning us. And that energy, for the most part, stayed on that side of the field, and the Eagles were never able to recoup from it, and we saw what we saw at the end of the day.
Yep.
Yes, they will be bringing Covey off the practice squad, so he will be in the lineup, Robert. Mm-hmm. Al, we didn't get to talk about the Phillies. We got to do that for, 1 minute. So in 1 minute, tell us about the Phillies offseason. Who's coming back of the free agents, and should they actually go after Ketel Marte, the D-Backs all-star second baseman?
I really do like Ketel Marte, and there's bring 2023 back. There's a guy who really bludgeoned us at the end. Yeah. But he is a little bit on the older side, and 32. He's going to want to. He's going to want an extension. He's going to want to, and it's going to cost you a lot. What are you willing to give up for another aging player? Now, he's not a home run or bust kind of guy either. So, and he's still really good defensively. So there's a lot of pluses to that. It's the cost. Kind of back to the Kyle Schwarber thing. People ask me all the time, what do you feel about Kyle Schwarber? I said, I love Kyle Schwarber. I think Kyle's a great glue guy. He's a Philly guy. His production is there. But what is it going to cost? So we want another guy who's going to be 39 years old who can only hit home runs or nothing. Because it's the DNA of the team. I think Ketel Marte could change the DNA of the team much more than Kyle Schwarber could. And I'm one of the biggest Kyle Schwarber fans. So it's I want a youth movement. I want a youth injection, if you want to call it that. But by doing the same old thing over and over again, bringing a guy in a little bit past his prime, a little older guy, and paying him much, because if you're telling me we're Ketel Marte away from winning a World Series, then fine. But we know that's not the truth.
No.
You got to replace Nick Castellanos because they don't want him here. They haven't wanted him here since whatever happened in Miami. I've said it before.
Yeah.
More than we know happened. And Tomper stuck by Castellanos the year before, no matter how bad he was. It took almost the mid-July to almost August for him to really get turned around. And when he did, he really did. So it paid off, made Tomper look like a genius. But he did something to piss him off, and he don't want them there. The organization don't want them there. And you know what? I kind of don't want them there either. I'm a little over the baby stuff. That's why I'm a little past Alec Boehm too. The inconsistency. I need ball players. I need a little bit back to a little less analytics, more back to the feel of the game. And we need to get guys who want to make contact. We have enough big contracts, and that's my other thing with Kyle Schwarber. We are stuck, and not the bad thing all the way, but we are stuck with Bryce Harper. We are stuck with Trey Turner. We are stuck with Aaron Nola because you got guys who have big contracts, and they're going to be here for a few more years at the very least. So you need to make a youth movement change. So I want to see them get younger. I want to see contact guys. We got to bring Crawford up. What's the other the younger guy? Rendon.
Right, and Aiden Miller. It's the infielder.
Aiden Miller. I mean, I just feel maybe he's not here right. I have a feeling he's going to be the Crawford of 2026. He could be here. He'll be here by June. He'll be here by the All-Star break. No. He'll be here by September, and then he never shows up. Listen, he's very young, and it's not the Phillies' MO to bring guys up young. I wish it was. I never understood, like, unless the guy is mentally frail, why are we afraid to bring guys up to fail a little bit? Let them fail a little bit. Let them get a taste of the game, get back down and make the adjustments. So when they come back up, they're ready to go.
I did read something interesting today that I wanted to throw out here. It seems that Ranger Suarez has gotten some interest from Boston and no one else. No one else. And Boston is not wanting to open the vault for him. There's a chance that he could end up back with the Phillies. Well,
it's better not be for a lot. I would be shocked too, because what they were saying before, 140 million, 4, 5, 6 years, whatever they were looking at. No. And I love Ranger. Again, I love Ranger.
Not for those numbers.
Yeah, and the pain, the up and down of him and his injuries and all that starting to add up. He's a really good guy. When he's hot, don't get me wrong. And he can go into the bullpen and to the starting position, starting rotation like nothing. And that's what makes him wonderful. But we just have to be smarter. And that's why I'm kind of, if they came out today and said Kyle Schwarber's not, he's just not, he got the Pittsburgh paid him some crazy amount of money, or Cincinnati paid him some crazy amount of money, I would be, this sucks. How are we going to bring his production in somewhere else? But at the same time, I'm not upset. I'm even crazy enough. I'm more on the Pete Alonso train. I am a little bit more on the Kyle Schwarber train, which is maybe against the grain. But he is about, 2-3 years younger. Production-wise, he's the same. The only problem with Pete Alonso is the big moments thing. And that's what I really don't want. So I want guys who – look at the Dodgers. Yeah, the Dodgers paid a lot of money, okay? They did. But they also had guys who would bludgeon you. Kike Hernandez – we don't. Some people haven't seen it yet, but he's a thorn in our side. It didn't matter what LA put up 1 through 9 in the lineup. You were sitting there like this the entire time during that run. With the Phillies, it was just like, oh well, if Bryce Harper's up, well, we'll just pitch around him and go to Alec Boehm. Why? Yeah,
we're not going to get anything out of 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, and if you're going to pay Kyle Schwarber, I'll just tell you right now. If they pay Kyle Schwarber that kind of money and he's not in the 4-hole, I'm going to lose my gourd.
Al, you got 2 more minutes?
Your time's my time, brother.
I don't recall if we've ever done this before. Maybe the first time you were on. Fast 5. 5 questions, 10-second answers. You got 10 seconds to answer each one of these questions. Here we go. Number 1, John Madden and Pat Summerall began working together, calling games on CBS 45 years ago yesterday. Are they the best ever football broadcast team? And if not, who's your personal favorite duo?
Absolutely. I grew up with Pat Summerall, and even playing video games as a young guy. It was either Pat Summerall's voice or John Madden. I mean, they were every time Monday Night Football, the turducken, everything. They made Thanksgiving football what it is today. No, I 100% like.
Time's
absolutely.
up. Number two.
Tom Brookshire, by the way.
Yes. We've now had the current guy under center for 5 full seasons, so I think I can ask this. Who is the best quarterback in Eagles history?
The only guy who went to Super Bowl twice and won one of them. It's got to be Jalen Hurts. Sorry, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a good question, though. Number 3, when you think of the 1993 Phillies, what comes to mind?
Mickey Morandini, just the way it's said. It's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah. All right, number 4, the 76ers stink. They are currently 9-8 after a 4-0 start, and they're sinking in the East. How many wins will they finish with, and will they make the playoffs?
I don't know, and no. That's my answer. One game at a time with that team. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, 4 guys who were supposed to be in the starting lineup this season were all out injured last night. Mm-hmm. Disgraceful. Number 5, we are entering the holiday season. So what is your favorite Christmas movie, Al?
Anybody knows me. Die Hard.
There you go. And yes, it is a Christmas movie, folks.
It is. It absolutely
one bonus question. Because it is Thanksgiving Eve, other than turkey, what's the best Thanksgiving food item?
Pumpkin pie. And that one goes to Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Phil
there you go.
Anti-pumpkin, yes.
Yeah, pumpkin pie. But tell him I start my breakfast off with a little pork roll sandwich. He'll get that too.
Yes, I heard.
All right. Well,
Al,
great stuff. Thanks for coming by, joining us. Happy anniversary to you and the bride, especially to her for putting up with you.
This guy. No, absolutely. I appreciate you guys as always. I mean, again, I've always said, Podcasting Sports Hall of Fame. If you two aren't the names on the plaques in the first book, I will burn it down for you. You guys are great. You're great friends. I appreciate you guys. Happy Thanksgiving to all you and your family. I wish you guys well, and I appreciate you, and I hope to do this real soon again.
We will talk about Delco Day in February.
You got it, brother.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Take it easy.
Hey, Chet, what could be better than Eagles tailgating with the best tailgaters in Philadelphia, Bob Cavanaugh and the gang at Cavs Philly Tailgates?
Well, you got that right, Bill. You know what I'm going to tell you about Cavs. They have been around doing their thing for some 35 years, and their thing is a terrific catering business. You know them for their tailgate parties. Cavs, a 3-time winner of the Philly Tailgates, Jack Daniels Great American Tailgate Party Contest, and a past winner of the Philly Daily News Tailgate Award. Cavs also does corporate events, parties, you name it. Of course, Cav hosts tailgates before all Eagles games outside the link. They got a couple coming up. Of course, the Black Friday game against the Bears, the next one. And then December 14th, the Sunday game against the Las Vegas Raiders. Get details on all events at Cavs' website, phillytailgates.com. And if you do have any questions, you can email them. That would be cavscatering@verizon.net. Cavs Philly Tailgates is the way to go.
Hey, Chet, we mentioned the Sixers 9-8 after last night's blowout to Orlando, playing without 4 starters. They gave up 86 points in the first half last night. Is this team sinking? I mean, are these injuries going to be long-term, and are we getting ready to watch the Titanic go down?
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, Paul George out with a different injury now. Joel Embiid has missed, 7 or 8 games in a row. He's only played 6 out of the first 17. I think it's the other knee this time. So let's face it, he's never going to be close to 100%, but now I guess he doesn't even want to play if he's 75%. You know how I was an Embiid fan. I'm starting to lose a little faith in Joel, everybody else in the world. What's really troubling, though, Kelly Oubre has missed the last 5 or 6 games. VJ Edgecombe, who's a kid, what is he, 20? He's been out the last couple of games with an injury. They can't keep anybody healthy. I don't know if this organization is cursed or what, but Nick Nurse has to be pulling his hair out again this year. They start 4-0, but now everybody's getting hurt already, except Maxey, who continues to go off. That's enough Sixers talk, Bill. I'm over it.
Well, I do want to throw out that about Maxey. He's playing at the highest level, but he's averaging about 40 minutes a game.
Oh yeah, he'll be worn out.
Yeah, I mean, how much can you go? He's carrying the whole entire load. They did get him out a little bit last night. I think he played 30 minutes in that blowout, but I don't know what more they can expect out of him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be an all-star. He is the franchise now. Joel Embiid clearly in the background, especially if he's only going to play a quarter of the games, which is what it appears. So, yeah, it's Maxey's team now. He's great. Edgecombe is, very good as a rookie. One very positive thing out of the Tuesday night debacle against Orlando on national TV, the play of Jared McCain, who's finally looking like he is getting back into form. He was hitting his shots last night. Looks like he's playing with confidence. So that is good to see. Otherwise, they're a tough team to watch right now. But, you get some guys healthy and you will win some games. They will be borderline, I think, for a playoff team, maybe in that 7-10 play-in area. But that's not going to get anybody excited.
No. Well, hey, college football, let's talk about that right quick. It's season coming to an end, full of chaos and controversy. Penn State and Temple fighting for their bowl life. Coaching vacancies all over the place. We got Lane Kiffin courting a couple universities while his team is getting ready to try to go to the playoffs. A couple big rivalry games with national implications. I got to ask you about Terry Smith, the way he's coached at Penn State. Is he going to be the guy based on winning a couple games? And, I also wanted to mention that the Baltimore Orioles have won since the Maryland Terrapins football team has won, Danny Malloy.
I did send that little thing to him, the fact that the Orioles have won more recently than the Maryland Terrapins. He knows they suck. It's okay. That is funny, though. Regarding Terry Smith, I know there's a lot of folks who do hope that he will at least be, given some consideration. Seems like a genuine guy, certainly likable. He's a former Nittany Lions player. He's been there as a coach the last several years. I know a number of the current players on the team are campaigning for him, but I don't know. I just think they're going to go and get somebody in from the outside. I saw a piece yesterday that said Smith probably has just an 8 to 11% chance of getting the job permanently. Do you like Smith as a potential hire?
Well, I'm not sure I do. Yeah. I think what I'm looking for is he better than the guy they got rid of? Or if we upgrading or we just needed a fresh start. One guy supposedly that has interviewed is Bobby Ingram, and long Penn State player, All-American, long NFL career, and has been an NFL coach ever since he retired. He's got a long resume, and Bobby supposedly wants to be in the mix as well. So it'll be interesting to see. But the very good recruiting class that James Franklin supposedly had at Penn State, he still has, except it's at Virginia Tech because everybody has decommitted from Penn State, and they are signing on with James Franklin at Virginia Tech. It's going to be interesting.
That site that I mentioned, by the way, listed the favorites as James Madison's Bob Chesney. He's a 48-year-old guy, good record at JMU, 9-4 last year, 10-1 this year. Of course, they don't play the powerhouse schedule like all the big teams do. They're in the Sun Belt Conference or whatever. So he's a good possibility. He is the favorite, like I said, according to that site. Other guys mentioned include Kalen DeBoer, Brent Key, and even Freeman from Notre Dame. Although I don't think Freeman would consider leaving Notre Dame for Penn State. That would make no sense.
Why would you leave Alabama for Penn State?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. That's DeBoer.
We'll see, and they better get to it quick because with all the changes college football has made, signing day is now like 2 weeks from now. Yeah, and all these schools don't have coaches. I don't know how this is going to work out. College football is ruined, Chet. It's messed up, and the calendar's messed up, and I don't know how they're going to fix it.
Bill, here is something that's not messed up. Messed up. I'm sneaking in a ring the bell random Chet segment right now because we got 2.5 minutes. I can squeeze it in. I know that you and I love a good TV series, and I think you actually checked this one out and enjoyed it.
Hey, watch it now.
Back in the summer, I snagged a free trial of the Paramount Plus streaming service, primarily to check out the series Landman that several friends had raved about. And I watched all 10 episodes over the course of a week and really enjoyed it. Landman stars Billy Bob Thornton as a guy who works at an independent oil rig in West Texas. In addition to Thornton, who's fantastic, by the way, the season 1 cast included the likes of Ali Larder as his ex-wife, Michelle Randolph as their teenage daughter, Jacob Laughlin as their son, John Hamm as the president of the oil firm, and Demi Moore as his wife. Now, one of those folks didn't make it beyond the season 1 finale. No spoilers. Created by the very busy Taylor Sheridan, Landman has Thornton's character, Tommy Norris, navigating the dangerous and high-stakes world of oil exploration while also exploring the lives of both the roughnecks and powerful billionaires in the industry, and the boom's impact on the region's economy, climate, and geopolitics. The first season, 10 episodes worth, saw Tommy dealing with the fallout of a tragic oil rig accident, managing difficult relationships with his family, and navigating the complex and sometimes deadly politics of oil and gas, including interference from a drug cartel. It's a terrific mix of drama and comedy with a lot of the laughs, courtesy the temperamental and, well, pseudo-sex maniac character played by Ali Larder, and TV daughter Ainsley also, who is strong-willed and pretty, but not all that wise. Now, season 2 of Landman has arrived, the first couple of episodes anyway, and there's a new character to enjoy, Tommy's father, played by the legendary Sam Elliott. Yeah, he's still got that mustache. I just watched the first couple of episodes. We get a new one every week, and I'm happy to report that it is still damn good. If you haven't yet done so, be sure to check out Landman on Paramount Plus. I'm confident you'll find it worth your time.
I actually watched the first 2 episodes of season 2 yesterday.
There you go. So did I. How about that?
So I am caught up. One caveat you might want to throw out there is be careful whose ears are around when you watch that, because there are many words and thoughts thrown out there for all to hear.
Did I include enough pictures of Ali Larder in that piece, by the way?
No, it could have just been one. The one thing you didn't mention, Chet, needs to be mentioned, is the female lawyer, the young girl. Yeah. She is fantastic as well.
Yes, you are correct. So many other good characters I didn't get to mention, but yeah, definitely worth watching. Landman on Paramount Plus.
Absolutely. All right. Time to get back to sports, Chet, and our weekly picks so that you can brag. I told you, you celebrated a little too early. You're bad juju. How did Boop, Patron Jr., you and I do in week 12?
Well, I did very well. I was a perfect 5-0. That, of course, included my upset pick of the Cowboys over the Eagles. I just had a hunch. I picked the Eagles or the Cowboys by 10 last week on our show, but I later revised it to a 3-point win, which is exactly what we got. So I'll take a little credit for that. Not happy that they lost, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, I am now in first place by actually 3 games. I forgot to change the numbers on the far right. I'm up by 3 games on Boop and by 5 on you. So yeah, I gotta fix that for the next time. So yeah, there you go, Bill.
Yeah. Okay. Time to get back into it. Yep. So just to clarify how we make our picks this year, we're picking the winner of 5 games every week. No point spreads, always the NFC East games, always the Sunday night football game. And then we throw in additional games as needed to get to the 5. So here we go this week. Our add-on game happens to be the first game of the week. Packers at the Lions. Lions minus 2.5, and that is a Thursday morning game.
All right. Is it morning?
Well, the early
12:30. Yes. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Packers at Lions. According to Boop, 3 of Detroit's next 5 games are on a Thursday. How about that? This is not your father's NFL. His pick is the Lions. I'm taking the Lions at home as well. I think they'll cover that 2.5 point spread.
I'm taking the Lions too, but they got to get their stuff together. They're struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Chiefs at Cowboys. Chiefs minus 3. That's also a Thursday game, and that was going to be a good one, I think.
All right, let's see. Boop says, even I, he's a Chiefs fan, had given up on Kansas City's season after the Hunt fourth quarter fumble Sunday, but now Super Bowl 60, here we come. That's Boop. Boop's pick is the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs win this one also. Dallas will get their butts smacked after beating the Eagles.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take the Chiefs because I don't want to sound like I'm a crybaby, Chet. Because I don't really like to blame the referees, but it's good for the NFL for the Chiefs and the Cowboys to have won last week. And I watched that Chiefs-Colts game. I saw Patrick Mahomes get 2 roughing the passer calls that were absolutely ridiculous. I saw the Eagles get 14 penalties against the Cowboys. Just saying. Somebody's got to lose. Chiefs are going to win.
Okay.
All right, Broncos at the Commanders. Broncos -6.5, and that's a Sunday night football game.
Boop says Washington's magic number is 6, as in their current losing streak and the number of takeaways they have all season. 6, that's it. His pick is the Denver Broncos. Mine as well. You can't pick Washington.
No, Broncos are a pretty darn good football team.
They are.
All right, Giants at the Patriots. That's a Monday night football game. The Patriots are -7.5.
I have a hunch we're going to have all the same picks. You, me, and Boop.
Not a real hard week. We'll probably go 0-5, but.
All right. Boop says, as long as Eli Manning stays in his ESPN2 couch or on his ESPN2 couch where he belongs, New England should be okay here. Yeah, I agree. New England should win this one handily.
Absolutely. All right. Bears, Eagles. Eagles -7 on Friday, Black Friday, in all black uniforms, too, by the way.
All right. Yeah, all black. Boop says Friday, for the third time in 19 days, the Eagles will face a team that awoke that morning atop the NFC North Division. I don't know if he's right about that. I don't know that Detroit was at the top of the division when they played, but whatever.
I think they were.
Really?
They were when they went into the game. They weren't when they came out.
Huh, how about that?
I believe so. Yeah.
What am I doing doubting Boop? Boop is the stat man. Come on.
The stat man.
Yeah. Boop's pick is the Eagles. I'm picking the Eagles as well, but I don't think they cover. I just don't think the Eagles have it all going yet, but they will get it going enough to at least win on Friday.
Eagles big. Big.
They will
Write
cover
it down.
according to Bill.
Yeah, they'll cover plus.
All right.
All right. Margin victory pool. I don't even probably want to know about this, but how we do it after 12 weeks?
We all picked a good team last weekend and that they won, but I was hoping to make up some ground on Boop. That did not happen. He took the Ravens. They won by 13. Your pick and mine, Bill, only won by 3 and 6. So, we actually lost more ground to Boop, who's running away with the damn margin of victory pool. But that could change. There are still 6 weeks to go. Let's see. This week, what do we got? Boop's pick this week. I just lost it. Here it comes. It is the Dolphins over the Saints. Interesting. I am taking the LA Chargers over the Raiders. I know you're not taking the Chargers because you already used them this year. So who's it going to be, Bill?
I am taking the Seattle Seahawks over the Minnesota Vikings.
Let's double check. You sure you didn't use them before?
I actually looked it up.
Okay, you did not. How about that?
Yeah, I actually looked it up because I didn't want to do what you did.
Yeah, which I screwed up once last year. Yes, or forget to make a pick too.
Yeah,
Seattle is a good pick. I like that. All right. So hey, great guest tonight at Al Zaffiri. We have another schedule change next week. Back to Tuesday night at 7. Life's getting in the way, Chet. Who's coming to Philly Pressbox Radio to join us? Well, let's see. I made this plan the other day, and I forget who it is. Oh, no, I remember who it is. In fact, I got to tell you a story about this guy in just a second, if I can find the picture.
Hey, Chet, while you're looking that up, look what Bob's saying to me.
You need to get better.
Man.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He was on my team all along, and now, man.
All right. On our next show, Bill, it's going to be Tuesday, so that's different. It's going to be at 6 p.m. How about that? Not 7.
That's right.
Tuesday at 6. You know why? Because this guy is going to join us live, and he wanted to do it at 6 rather than 7 because he wanted to do something later in the evening, I guess. And I said, for you, sir, we will move the show to 6 p.m. on Tuesday. And I'm talking about this guy. He joins us every December, as a matter of fact. Arkansas Fred Barnett. I think this is the 11th straight year. I could be wrong, but I'll have to check. I think it's 11 straight years that we've had Arkansas Fred Barnett join us on our show, old number 86. And I was hanging with Fred on Sunday at a Mike Barnes Together We Dance Foundation event at a tavern over in Bensalem. And I was actually sitting at the bar for probably a good half hour at one point, talking to Fred, hanging with him, watching the Eagles Cowboys on one of the TVs there. And it was right after the Eagles fumbled that punt. Dallas got it. And then Fred says to me, watch the Cowboys F this up. And they did, of course. That was the interception to Blankenship. So Fred and I are like high-fiving each other and fist bumping. And then it was 21-7 at halftime. I left, and he had said a few times, boy, the Cowboys really stink. And, of course, we saw what happened in the second half, so didn't turn out so well.
No. Well, but it's always good to talk to Fred, and as you said, he's been doing it with us for years, and looking forward to that.
Tuesday, 6 p.m., not 7. I made the graphic before we changed it, so not 7 p.m., Tuesday at 6 p.m. next week with Fred.
All right. One comment on the Flyers, Chet. They're in game 2 of their 4-game road swing against this defending Stanley Cup champion Panthers tonight. Big 4 games. They lost the first one to the Lightning 3-0. They can't come out of this losing 3 out of 4.
No, this is a big game. And it's been a tough few days on the Philly sports scene with what's happened with the Sixers the last couple of days. The Eagles blowing the game to Dallas. The Flyers getting shut out for the first time the other night. So it would be nice to come back, but I believe they're going up against the defending Stanley Cup champions. Never an easy task. So I can't say I'm optimistic, but who am I to judge? Because I don't really watch hockey till January, so I don't know.
Well, if they can, even if they don't win this one, if they can win the next 2 and come home 2-2, that will probably be okay. But they can't lose 3 out of 4.
Yeah, I mean, they're off to a decent start, so we'll give them that. And by the way, kudos to the Flyers organization for honoring Bernie Perrant last Friday and then again at the game on Saturday. Everything I saw from that, man, I wish I could have been there for that Friday event, but it looked great. So congrats to everybody involved with that. Bill, the good news is no major deaths to report this week in the sports world or anywhere really. Instead, here on Thanksgiving Eve, let's talk about a bunch of folks who are very much still with us, alive and well, and celebrating birthdays. One of my all-time favorite Philadelphia Flyers, a 2-time Stanley Cup champion and a frequent visitor to our show, Bob Hound Kelly, celebrated birthday number 75 on Tuesday. Today, Wednesday, former Phillies and Pirates pitcher Bob Walk turned 69. Another guy who played for both the Pirates and Phils, Richie Hebner, celebrated number 78. Remember his nickname? I'm sure you do, tied to an off-season job of his? Yeah, the Grave Digger. Oh, not Philly guys, but the legendary kicker Jan Stenerud, who had a long NFL career, mostly with the Chiefs, turned 83 today. A much younger guy, this year's American League MVP runner-up, Cal Raleigh, celebrated number 29, the Big Dumper. I had a friend in college that we called the Big Dumper, but that's a whole different story. All right, 2 more. A couple of Philly greats are celebrating birthdays on Thanksgiving this year. Former Eagles offensive tackle, later a U.S. congressman from South Jersey, John Runyon will blow out 52 candles. And the greatest Phillies shortstop of all time, a former MVP and world champion, J-Roll, Jimmy Rollins, celebrates birthday number 47. Happy birthday to all.
Good stuff. I like talking about birthdays a whole lot more than I like talking about death. That's for sure.
In looking up Richie Hebner and confirming his age, 78 today, he has the highest opening day slugging percentage and OPS in Major League Baseball history. Put him in the lineup on opening day, and you were guaranteed a great performance. He played in 12 opening day games during his career with the Pirates, Phillies, Mets, Tigers, and Cubs. And on those opening day games, he hit .458 with 6 homers, 8 doubles, a triple, and 50 total bases. Batting average, .458.
Wow.
Pretty amazing. The Gravedigger.
How about that? That's good. I like it. All right. We can't top that, so let's wrap it up. Let's thank tonight's special guest, Al Zaffiri, our sponsors, the Irish Rover Station House, Cavs Philly Tailgates, and PPCC 118 Raz Room. For Jim Chetchesco, This is Bill Furman. We hope you enjoy the show. We'll join Philly Press Box Radio next Tuesday, November 2nd at 6 p.m. You can see us live on Facebook, on our Philly Press Box Radio YouTube channel, and on the STT Sports Network YouTube channel, and listen on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and all the others. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. High hopes, Philadelphia sports fans. Go Birds. Let's go Flyers, and let's go Sixers.
Let's do the song. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fly, Eagles, fly. On the road to victory.